Hello and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Millie and I love indie makeup, especially shiny, shifty, and sparkly eyeshadows, which is exactly what we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to be comparing all my iridescent shades from a couple of different brands. Now I have like an equivalent video to this between black-based multichromes as well as some more sheer multichromes, and I will put those down in the description box in case you're interested. But today we're just going to be comparing some iridescent shadows. We have Terra Moons, Clionadh, Devinah, as well as some loose pigments from Karla. I've purchased all of these eyeshadows you see here except for these three pigments that were actually sent to me from Karla. So I did my best here and tried to find the shades that are the closest to each other. There's definitely some that are really similar, some that are exact, and then some that are a bit different. So we'll take a look at all of those. And the swatch part is taken with my phone because my phone is able to capture the shift the best, since I can kind of move around with my hand, which is the best way to see multichromes. I'm not going to be recommending one brand over the other in this video. This is just purely color-wise, just so that if you are interested in buying some of these, you can decide on which brand you would like to purchase from based on your wants, needs, and budget. There's some like slight texture differences, but really you just can't go wrong. I mean, it's really just about which one you want to purchase from. So first up, we got the one and only Legend Zero Gravity from Terra Moons and Clionadh's Ray, and these are literally identical. There's not really much to say here. Next up, these are very similar at a certain angle, as you can see, but the flip is just a little bit different tone. Cavity and Euphoria have more of a blue kind of shift versus the other two are more purple. Lunar Spectrum and Gloaming are also very similar, but Gloaming is just a little bit more texture. As you can see, it's got more of a like a sparkle than like a smooth texture. I did try to layer all these swatches up so they would be pretty close to each other, but these are pretty much the same. The only thing that would be different was the texture. Phoenix is much just brighter. It has a little bit more of a base. You can see it's kind of like a bluish gray base, so they're a little bit different. Do you need both? No, I would probably recommend Phoenix. But yeah, they're just a little bit different in the flip as well. It's much more vibrant in Phoenix. Lightyear, Glint, and Luxe, these are very similar. I know that Glint and Luxe are both from Clionadh. I would say if anything, Luxe is just like a little bit more shinier and a bit more gold than Glint, but they're very similar. It also has a little bit more of a base. I think that one would be like a direct dupe to Lightyear from Terra Moons. Next up, all four of these are pretty similar, like upon just a certain angle, a certain light, but then they shift a little bit different. So Alice and Cake Bomb look a little bit different at the other angle versus Boom, Sour, and Glow stay a bit more blue, and even in the shift, Boom, Sour, and Glow have a purple shift versus more of like a darker blue. Puffles and Glimmer have the same type of shift, but at a certain angle they look a little bit different. Puffles is more blue, while Glimmer is just a little bit more like a different kind of blue, but also a little bit purple. These are very similar at a specific angle, but they shift different. Sweetdreams shifts to a blue. These next four are very similar, especially at a specific angle. They're pretty much identical. Gilding is much flakier, and you can tell. I try to build it up, but it's very flaky, so it's definitely more textured and a bit more sparkly because of that. But the other four shades are basically the same. Spectrum is just a bit more yellow, maybe. These next three are pretty much identical. The only thing I would say, and I did not swatch Insomnia over glitter primer, but it's just not really shiny. It's got like a sheen, but it's not quite shiny. I feel like it looks a little bit more shiny in a specific angle, but it really isn't in real life. It's got a bit of a dull sheen compared to these other two, and I just think it's much easier application with the pressed shadows. Space Baby, Shuggies, and Fluorescence, I would say these are pretty much the same. I think the shift is just a little bit stronger on Space Baby and Fluorescence. In Shuggies, you can see it kind of takes a little bit longer to see the shift once I angled my hand, But yeah, these are pretty much identical. Pillow Fight is definitely not even close. I did also try to compare it to Terra Moon's Red Giant and Ray from Clionadh, but it's actually much different. I know it might look like it's similar with these other shades, but it's really not. And it's swatched dry, so it would have much more of an impact over a glitter primer, but it's pretty different from these two shades. The closest to each other, I would say, is Halo and Solar Flare. Astral just looks a little bit different in a certain angle, and Halo has a little bit more red in it. These are both from Terra Moons, and we have Charon and Selene, and these are very similar. The only difference I would say is Selene just has a green shift. And so those are all the swatches. I hope this video was helpful. And check out the description box for other multi-chrome comparisons. And so that's everything for this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you subscribed. There's so much indie makeup, lots of shiny, sparkly, and shifty eyeshadow content, and lots of swatches and comparisons and multiple looks, one palette up on my channel, and much more to come. So you don't want to miss out. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.